Welcome back. In this video, we are going to see a little bit about rainbows. We have seen the rainbows in many occasions. It is very beautiful and attractive, isn't it? But have you ever thought about how these colors are appeared? Have you think about it? No. So rainbows, this occurrence of rainbows that involves physics, optics, and we will see the mathematics and how the rainbow occurs. Rainbow. That is the topic that we are going to discuss today. So rainbows occurs due to dispersion and total internal reflection of a sun ray on the water drop, raindrop. Generally rainbow occurs during rainy time, right? Here what happens? Dispersion and total internal reflection. These two phenomena that became the reason for the occurrence of the rainbow. How? That is what we are going to see little later. Actually, in a nutshell, sunlight is coming from sun and it incident on raindrop. In the raindrop, it undergoes a dispersion and total internal reflection, so that the observer sees lots of colors. Observer sees lots of colors, right? So, condition for this rainbow to occur is, see, if you notice, whenever rainbow occurs, if you see the rainbow in front of you, then you can notice that sun will be on your back side, either on straight back or little bit side back. Okay, so to the rainbow to occur, sun should be on the back side of the observer. Another thing is, the altitude of the sun rays must be greater than 42 degrees. The altitude of the sun rays must be greater than 42 degrees. These are the conditions to occur rainbow. Another thing, when you notice that rainbow has different colors, VIBGYOR colors, right? Rainbow has VIBGYOR colors. Oh, VIBGYOR either violet on the first or like this. In which order these colors would occur? Whether violet on the top or red on the top? Think about it. Yeah, sometimes, yes, whatever you think is correct. Sometimes it is on this order, sometimes it is on that order. Sometimes violet would be appear on top and sometimes red would be appear on top. So based on which color appears, right, which colors appears on top, that could be explained based on the category of the rainbow. The rainbow can be categorized as primary rainbow or secondary rainbow. Okay, primary rainbow or secondary rainbow. For primary rainbow, violets will be on the bottom. For secondary rainbow, the violet will be on the top. For the secondary rainbow, the violet will be on top. Why in the primary rainbow violet will be on the bottom and in the secondary rainbow violet will be on top? To answer this, in order to answer this, we are going to have a little bit of mathematics. We will do some mathematical calculation and we will automatically end up with the diagram that will tell you why it happens. First, let us start with primary rainbow. Good. In this, let us assume a raindrop. It is on spherical shape. Okay, it's a raindrop. Now, assume that the sun ray enters in this way. The sun ray enters in this way. Okay, the sun ray enters in this way. It is S. And in the raindrop, it undergoes end refraction, right? And the refracted ray travels like this. It undergoes refraction at point A. It moves towards this point B. So let's draw a straight line towards B. Then at point B, this ray, see, if it is unrefracted, it will travel in this direction. As if it is refracted, it goes here, right? At point B, it undergoes total internal reflection and it returns back to here. And it returns back to this point C. And again it gets refracted and refracted ray comes like this. And here the observer will be here. Now, if we extend this refracted ray in backwards, that would go and reach this point. Okay, now if you extend this point here, this angle, right, this is the direction of the incoming ray if it is not refracted within raindrop. And if you extend this one backwards, this line, so this angle between this is angle of deviation delta. Fine. Now at point A, let us draw angle of incidence and angle of refraction. For that purpose, let's draw the normal. Let's draw the normal. How to draw the normal? From the center. This is the center. From the center, and we can extend this line towards center. Similarly, we can extend this line here. Similarly, we can extend this line towards, right? Now, you can also connect this dotted line like this. See, this is the normal. So, and this okay, so that here it is angle of incidence I, and here this angle, which angle? The angle between the normal line to the angle, the refracted ray, this angle is R. Okay. Similarly, right, for any triangle within the circle, these two angles will be equal. So this angle equal to R, and this side would also be equal to R. This would also equal to R, right? For any triangle, these two angles are equal to same. If you draw and you can check. Fine. Now, this is origin O, and here this angle is incident angle. If if this, it is an incoming ray, if this is an outgoing ray, right? Assume that if light ray coming through this way, it is incident angle, it is refracted angle. So this I and this I are equal. Fine. Now the direction of the light ray is, sun rays, it is travel from S to A, then A to B, then B to C, then E. If it is unrefracted, it will travel towards this direction. If you extend this, it will touch this point, then the angle between this is delta. Our main aim is to find this angle delta. Okay. Now at point A, angle of incidence is I, angle of refraction is R. And if you extend this, this will meet at this point. And at point B, right? Now, at point B, it undergoes a total internal reflection. So first, right? First there is a refraction, then here it occurs total internal reflection, then here refraction. But this is a white ray, and this raindrop will act like a prism, so the dispersion also would occur. So the single white light comes from the sun will appear like a band of colors when it is observed by the observer. Now, let's write the deviation. Let's write the deviation produced at A, produced at B, and produced at C. Okay. So let's write deviation of incident light ray, deviation of light at A. What is that? Right? Originally, it must undergo this direction. Right? But what happens? It is going in this direction. So what is the deviation? This angle is the deviated angle. That is nothing but I minus R. Okay? So this might be traveled in this direction, and this is normal. If this is I, and this entire thing also would be I. But what happens? As it is refracted, it bends forward. So this angle is the deviation. That is nothing but I minus R. 1. And second thing, deviation of light at B. What happens in B? See here, it might be, if it is extended, it will be going like this. But what happens? It occurs total internal reflection. If it is going on this direction, what is that? If you bend this, it comes in this direction, it comes in this direction, that will be 180 degree, right? Angle between this and this is 180, right? Angle between this line is 180. What happens? Now it is written like this. So we need the angle of this. What we need? This angle is 2r. But what is the angle of deviation? Instead of going like this, it is going like that. So that we need to subtract this 2r from this 180, right? So that 180 minus 2r is the deviation at point B, at this point. The light ray should be going in this direction, but instead it is traveling this direction. So that we need to subtract, in order to get this angle, we need to subtract the total 180 from this angle. Okay, that is 180 minus 2r. And the deviation of light at C, again here, what is that? Here also there is a small angle. The situation is like this. So it is again I minus r. This is the case, then this will be going like this in this direction, but there is a small inclination inside, so that we can write I minus this r will give you this angle. This angle is the angle of deviation. Alright? So now you see the original direction of the light ray is this, and actual direction of deviated light ray is this. So if you allow both the point to meet, then you will get an angle delta. So that is the total deviation produced. So total deviation due to the point A, B and C, which is equal to, you need to sum A plus B plus C, deviations at A plus B plus C. So that delta, which is equal to I minus R plus 180 minus 2R plus I minus R. It becomes 1I, 2I, 2I minus 1R, 3R, 4R plus 180. This is delta. Let's say this is equation 1. Another thing. Now, this deviation will be minimum at what condition? Mathematically, deviation will be minimum. Deviation will be minimum when d delta by di, d delta by di, which is equal to 0. That is, if you take the d delta by di for the equation 1, d delta by di, right? D delta by di for equation 1, so d by di, delta is 2i minus 4r plus 180. So this would be, we are differentiating delta with respect to I, so that we will get, here it is 2 minus 4 dr by di, 180 is constant, it becomes 0. So this must equal to 0. In that case, 2 minus 4 dr by di equal to 0, or minus 4 dr by di equal to minus 2, or dr by di equal to 1 by 2, right? You bring minus 4 to the denominator, minus 2 by minus 4, minus minus will cancel out, 2 by 4. So if you cancel out, if you divide with 2, 1 by 2. So dr by di, which is equal to 1 by 2. This is equation number 2. Fine. Now, at A, apply Snell's law. So outside is air medium, inside is water medium. For air, n equal to 1. For water, n has different value, not equal to 1. That is the thing which we know, right? Now, according to Snell's law, apply Snell's law. You apply Snell's law. What is Snell's law? N1 sin I, which is equal to N2 sin R. Here N1 is 1, so that sin I, which is equal to N2, let's take N, and sin R in the second medium, right? So from that we can write N sin R that is equal to, sin I equal to n sin r. So this is equation number 3. Okay, this is equation number 3. Now differentiate this equation number 3 with respect to I, right? If you differentiate this with respect to I, then you will get cos I, that is equal to n times cos r dr by di. But what is dr by di? Which is 1 by 2. So that cos I equal to n by 2 cos r. Cos I equal to n by 2 cos r. But if you take the square, then you can write cos square I equal to n square by 4 cos square r. Now the idea is we are going to write cos square r in terms of cos square I, right? For that we use the formula. What is that? Sin square theta plus cos square theta, which is equal to 1. So cos square theta, which is equal to 1 minus sin square theta, and similarly sin square theta equal to 1 minus cos square theta. You remember this. Now here we can apply cos square r as 1 minus sin square r, so that n square by 4 1 minus sin square r. And then okay, and then so cos square I, which is equal to, you bring n inside, 4 left side, 4 cos square I, which is equal to n square minus n square sin square r. Okay, but n sin r equal to sin I, right? So that here it becomes n square minus sin square I. Okay, n square minus sin square I, but sin square I is nothing but 1 minus sin square theta equal to 1 minus cos square theta. So that 4 cos square I, which is equal to n square minus 1 minus cos square I, or you can write 4 cos square I, which is equal to n square minus 1 plus cos square I. When it comes to the left side, it becomes minus cos square I, so that 4 cos square I minus cos square I becomes 3 cos square I, that is equal to n square minus 1. Or you can write cos squared I, which is equal to n squared minus 1 by 3, or cos I is equal to square root of n square minus 1 by 3, and if you want I, you can write cos inverse of square root of n square minus 1 by 3. This is equation number 4, right? So if you know the refractive index of the water medium, you could be able to calculate the angle of the incident ray. Angle of incidence you can calculate. Once you know the angle of incidence, you can able to calculate, right? You can able to calculate angle of refraction R. You can able to calculate angle of refraction R by substituting in this equation. Once you know the I and already you know N, then you can able to calculate R. Once you could able to calculate I and R by substituting that in this equation number 1, you could able to calculate delta. Right? Now, this white light will be getting dispersed into water, then the refractive indices of water for violet, the refractive indices of water for violet color. So N water for violet color is 1.343. Refractive indices for water, refractive indices of water for red color is 1.5 1.329. Substituting these values here, we will get the angle of incidence I for violet as 58.8, while the angle of incidence for red as 59.6 degree. Right? Now substituting these values in equation number 3, and we will get angle of refraction of violet as 39.6. Similarly, angle of refraction for red color is 40.5 degree. Right? Substituting this R value, I values for violet and red colors in equation number 1, we will get that angle of deviation for violet and angle of deviation for red as, for violet it is 40.8, for red it is 42.8 degree. Okay, right? Did you got it? We have obtained this equation. That's fine. Now the refractive index of water, the refractive index of water for violet color is 1.343. The refractive index of water for red color is 1.329. Now what we are going to do is, we are substituting this value at this equation. We will get I value for violet, that is 58.8. Substituting this value in this equation, we get R value for violet, 39.6. Now taking this I and R, substituting here, we will get the deviation for violet ray, so delta V, that is 40.8. Similarly, we are substituting the refractive index of red color into this equation. We will get I for red color, and substituting I value for red color into this equation, we will get R value for red color. Substituting this I and R value for red color to this equation, we will get the angle of deviation delta for red color, that becomes 42.8 degree. Right? Now, what it implies that, see, this is raindrops, sun ray, this is sun. Sun ray comes, observer is here, right? Observer is here. Now this light ray, different colors have different angle of, with respect to the reference point, with respect to the bow. Say for example, bow, this angle, violet color comes with an angle 40.8. Violet at 40.8. So this is violet color, this is red color. You can say red. That comes at, red comes at 42.8 degree. It implies that, so violet color having the lower angle than red color. So that violet appears in the bottom, red appears in the top. Okay. So the lower angle colors appears in the bottom, higher angle colors appears in the top. So that here for primary rainbow, red colors appears in the top, violet color appears in the bottom. In between that, all other composition of colors will be appear. So this is how in primary rainbow, violet color appears in the bottom, red color appears in the top. So this is the simple mathematics. So here what happens? There are refraction, total internal reflection, dispersion, right? But here there exists two refraction, one total internal reflection. Let's see what happens in the secondary rainbow. Second topic is secondary rainbow. Let's see what happens in secondary rainbow, which makes that the colors appeared in the reverted way, flipped way. Okay, right. Now fine. Again, let me draw this diagram first. Let me draw the diagram. Now it is that assume that the sun ray is here, sun is here, it is sun. The light ray comes from here, comes from the sun to this point. This is raindrop. This is raindrop. So light ray from sun comes to meet the raindrop at this point A. This is point A, so that it comes like this. Okay, and it goes the refraction in this direction. Then there is a total internal reflection in this direction. Then again refraction in this direction, right? Then it gets refracted and observer is here. I is here, right? This is I. Observer is here. Okay, fine. Now let's draw the normal. This is the center of this raindrop. Let's draw the normal. So here also we can draw the normal through the center. Okay, and now if you extend this outside, you can extend this outside. Okay, it's normal. Now this angle is angle of incidence I. This is the direction of the light ray. This is the direction of the light ray. This angle is angle of incidence I. This is R. Here this is angle R. This is also angle R. This is R. This is R. This is R. Okay. And again this is I. And now you see, and this direction is the incoming light ray and this direction is the refracted ray. So angle of deviation will be this much. Delta is this much. Okay. Now right ray undergoes a refraction at point A and undergoes a total internal reflection at point B and undergoes one more total internal reflection at point C, then again one more refraction at point D. So there exists a deviation at this point and this point, this point, this point. So we need to write the deviation at point A. Okay, let's write. But to write, okay, fine. So light ray produces a deviation at A, that is nothing but again, if this light ray goes in this direction, then this and this will be I, but this is the angle, this is the angle of deviation. So if you want this, you need to subtract R from I. Okay, so that here I minus R and deviation at B. If the incoming light ray travels straight, unrefracted, it will go in this direction. But what happens? It is going in this direction. So now you can write, what is that? This is the total angle 180, and if you want this angle is the angle of deviation. If you want, you need to subtract this angle. This angle is R plus R 2R. So that you need to subtract this 2R from 180 in order to get this angle, right? So that 180 minus 2R at B, again deviation at C is equal to 180 minus 2R. Similar situation occurs here. You can see that if the unrefracted ray goes like this, but refracted ray goes in this direction, so this is the angle of deviation. If you want to calculate angle of deviation, this you need to subtract 180. You need to subtract R plus R, 2R from 180. So here also it is 180 minus 2R here. And then deviation at D. Here, if this ray is going straight, right? The similar situation here. This situation and this situation are same, in that case, here also you can write I minus R. Okay, fine. Now the total deviation delta is nothing but sum of all four. So that we can write I minus R plus 180 minus 2R plus 180 minus 2R plus I minus R. So it becomes 1 to 2I minus 1R, 3R, 5R, 6R plus 180 plus 180, 360. So this is delta, right? Now angle of deviation will be minimum when d delta by di which is equal to 0. So if you calculate d by di of 2i minus 6r plus 360, you will get, so that you will get, what is that? This, it is 2 minus 6 times dr by di, this becomes 0. So if this goes to 0, right, if this goes to 0, then it becomes dr by di which is equal to minus 6 by 2 it comes, so that, sorry, 2 by minus 6 comes, hold on a minute, so minus 6 dr by di which is equal to minus 2, so dr by di which is equal to minus 2 by minus 6, it becomes 1 over 3, so that dr by di is equal to 1 by 3. So this is equation 1, you can say this is equation 2. Fine. Did you got it? Good. Now again, outer side is air medium, inner side is water. So n equal to 1 for air, n equal to different for different colors in water. So according to Snell's law, we have written already. Apply Snell's law, you will get sin I equal to n sin r. Sin I equal to n sin r. This we have obtained already. And if you have doubt, let me write it again. According to Snell's law, n1 sin I which is equal to n2 sin r, right? I is the incidence angle, n1 becomes 1, so this becomes sin I, and n2 is n and r is r, so that sin I equal to n sin r. In that way you will get this equation number 3 from Snell's law. Okay, now differentiate this sin I with respect to, right, with respect to I. If you differentiate sin I with respect to I, you will get cos I which is equal to n times cos I dr by di. Again we can take square, cos square I equal to n square cos square I, and dr by di which is equal to 1 by 3. Hold on a minute. Let's substitute first. So that cos I which is equal to n by 3, this is cos r, so cos r, and if you take square, cos square I which is equal to n square by 9 cos square r, right? Cos square r becomes, okay, this comes 9 cos square I which is equal to n square 1 minus sin square r, so n sin r which is equal to sin I, right? So this you can write n square minus n square sin square r, so this becomes 9 cos square I, that is equal to n square minus sin squared I. So 9 . right? 9 cos square I, which is equal to n square minus, again sin square you can write. What you can write? 1 minus cos square, so that 1 minus cos squared I you can write, or it becomes n squared minus 1 plus cos squared I. So that if you bring this cos squared I to the left side, it becomes 8 cos squared I, that is equal to n square minus 1, or cos squared I, which is equal to n squared minus 1 by 8, or cos I, which is equal to square root of n square minus 1 by 8, or I equal to cos inverse of n square minus 1 by 8. Now you can write this is equation number 4, right? See, we already know the refractive index of water for violet color and refractive index of water for red color. Substitute that value, you will get the angle of incidence for red and violet color. Substitute that angle of incidence of red and violet color in the equation number 3, you will get angle of refraction for red and violet color. Then you substitute that into this equation number 1, you will get the values for delta V and the values for delta R. That becomes 234 degree, here it becomes 231 degree. Okay, this entire thing is 234 and 231. But the thing is, and we are watching, observer is here, so in order to get the angle of the light ray for the observer, if you get the angle of light ray for the observer, you need to subtract these values from 180, you subtract these values from 180, so that delta V is equal to, actually you subtract 180 from 234. 234 minus 180, you will get 54 degree, and delta R again 231 minus 180, which is equal to 51 degree. It implies that the sun is here and raindrops are here, right? Observer is here, the light rays are coming like this, and the one ray which is having 54 degree is violet, and another ray which is having 51 degree is red. Okay, so here the violet having higher angle than red color, right? Here the violet having higher angle than red color, so that violet appears on the top, red appears on the bottom. Okay, this is why the secondary rainbow, where the violet colors appears on top, red color appears on bottom. But remember that here it undergoes two total interreflection, 2 refractions, so that the secondary rainbow looks like a dull color. It's look like fainted. It's look like dull. Okay, so this is all about the rainbow, right? So with this, we'll stop here, and we will resume back in the next topic in the next video. Until then, thank you.